before I get started with this video, I had to let you guys know that I am in the middle of moving right now, so don't mind this background mess going on right now. It won't be there next week. For today's video, I want to tell you guys a story that happened last week, and the reason I really want to tell it is because I just learned so much from it that I know you guys will be able to relate and take away from it. So here I go. Last Friday, a young woman came up to me at work and she said, I really want to get advice from you. What advice do you have for someone who wants a journalism career? And I didn't really know how to answer that, and I just said there's so much that she would have to be more specific. So I told her we could talk later, and then we met up, and it started with her telling me how she wants to do what I do, being on camera, working in entertainment, and doing all of that. And she showed me her blog, and I gave her advice on what to do with that. But then the conversation turned into showing me her second blog and telling me the story about how she has been diagnosed with MRKH. And I wasn't familiar with the syndrome, but it is when 1 out of every 4,000 women are diagnosed with this, and it's when they are born without a uterus. And so she had the entertainment blog, and then she told me about her MRKH blog, where she answers different questions and talks about her experiences. And she was telling me how the MRKH blog was getting more views than her entertainment one, and then she also told me how she wanted to be a spokesperson for it. So the way that she was just telling me this story and just how it all even came about, like she was saying how girls don't find out that they have it until after high school and they're going through puberty and they don't get their period. And she just started talking about all this stuff about how on the outside she has everything that a woman is supposed to have, but on the inside, because she was born without it, or it was very, very small, it's like she's 9 years old. And she was just saying how people asked her, like, what's it like when you do that? Are you going to adopt? Do you get your periods? And there was just all this stuff, and just the way that she was talking to me about it was just so, you could feel like the passion and how much she really cares about it. And although I couldn't relate to it because I don't have that syndrome, the story was just so beautiful, and it touched my heart so much that I wanted to help her come up with a plan. So the plan that we came up with was she was going to link her regular blog, the entertainment one, to the MRKH blog so that she could get views on both. But she told me she really wants to be on camera, and sometimes she gets uncomfortable when she is on camera. So I gave her the advice of, why don't you make a YouTube channel and start talking about MRKH? Take that blog and bring it onto YouTube, because that way she would be able to practice being on camera, and then she can also be the spokesperson. So it's knocking out 2 birds with 1 stone. And it was just, I don't know, like I was going to go about with this video telling people how you don't have to go the traditional way with going after your dreams, but I'm just going to save that for another thing, because I feel like the real lesson behind this is to never be afraid to tell your story, never be ashamed of your story, and you're supposed to use your story and tell it, because 1, God wouldn't have gave you it if you weren't strong enough to handle it, and also because there is someone out there who is going through either what you went through or what you've been going through, who isn't strong enough to handle it, and they're lost and they don't know what to do, and you are going to be that person that is an encouragement and that sheds that light on them and gives them that hope that everything is going to be okay. And I feel like everyone watching this video can relate to that. We have all done things that we are ashamed of, what we're not proud of. We wish that things wouldn't have happened. We wish that we didn't have certain characteristics or like physical appearances, and it's like, and I'm like that too. I have so many things that fall into those categories, and I'm not going to lie, when I did videos before, I didn't really show that because I was ashamed of it, and I didn't know how people would take it. And just, you know, this girl, she came to me for advice with her journalism career, not knowing that she actually inspired me, even though she was looking for inspiration from me. And it was to just never be ashamed of it. Be proud of everything you've been through. And you know, there's going to be people that are just going to either hate on it or they're going to judge you for it, but it's okay, because you have no idea how much you can really help someone by telling your story and sharing how you overcame that, and you're going to be that person who just who just inspires them to not give up and to just really believe and know that everything is going to be okay. So I just know I rambled for, it says 6 minutes right now, and I don't know, I just want to thank that girl. I hope that she watches this video, and just know that you really, 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 really touched my heart with that story, because like I said, I could see the passion and I could just feel it. I could see it in your eyes, like the energy you had, that you really, really want to help people. And I was telling her that, you know, you came to me saying that your dream is to be this entertainment reporter and be on camera, but really, what if your purpose, God's purpose for you, was to have this syndrome and be that voice to those who may not know what to do if they are affected by that. So sometimes you have like a goal or a dream, and it's like what God has planned for you is in line with that, but it may be bigger than that. So if you guys are familiar, I have my personalized notebook. So what I did was I took the notebook and I told her, use this notebook, write down every single video blog idea that you have that has to do with MRKH, and just record them, because she is going to really blow up in the aspect of being a spokesperson for that. And then she's also just going to love just being that personality and that hope. And that alone, I think, is just so much bigger than being on camera interviewing different people in entertainment, because it makes a difference. And like I said, I don't even know if this video makes sense, but I just want to encourage you guys to not be ashamed of anything that you've been through, your mistakes, your flaws, all of it, and don't be afraid to share it with the world, because you know what, there's a lot of people who won't share their flaws and their mistakes, not knowing like there's someone out there who can relate to anything that you're feeling or what you've been through, and you need to shed that light. So stop being afraid, get out there, tell your story, because there is someone out there depending on you. If you had gotten that thing you thought you wanted at the time, you would have missed out on what God has had planned for you since day one, which is all